afternoon and welcome to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to inspire, educate, and empower you to fulfill a healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life so you too can feel empowered to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Yes, 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 yes. You know that they talked about me this morning in my networking group saying that I am the inspirational, motivational person. And I just didn't have enough coffee this morning to be that. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. And I'm so glad and happy and honored that you're joining us today. Today, though, I want to talk about who we're going to have on. Adam Holtzer. He is an emerging entrepreneur disrupting the traditional world of networking, and he is a business development person. Adam is the founder of Connections for Hire, a business development consulting firm, and the co-founder of Whoggga, which we're going to talk about today, an exclusive invitation-only social network for business owner. Adam lives in Dix Hills, where I grew up, New York, with his wife, Laura, who's a doll. She's amazing, very creative, amazing human being. His daughter, Molly, and his son, Jackson, both energetic bunnies. We love them both. Outside of work, you can usually find Adam dressed up in a superhero costume of his kid's choice at a local playground, running, flying, and playing with Molly and Jackson. He is an awesome, awesome father. Adam's favorite thing in life is surrounding himself with good people and seeing others around him happily enjoying themselves, as do I. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thank you very much for having me, Lorianne.
I am so excited to have the Chief Whoggga officer on the show with us today. So tell us, what's a Whoggee?
So a Whoggee is a member of Whoggga. And ironically, my partner and I, we both have the title CWO. However, I'm the CWO, meaning the Chief Whoggee Officer. Whoggee meaning my role and responsibility is the Whoggies, the members. And my partner's role as a CWO is he's the Chief Whoggga Officer, and he runs the business and background, behind the scenes part of Whoggga. So a Whoggee is a member of Whoggga.
I love that. And it's a new philosophy in networking, right? So let's talk about that philosophy, because normal networking is you get together in a room and everybody passes out their business cards and they talk to one another, and they may or may not get business unless you're with an organization that requires you to give business. Some of the networking groups do that. But this organization doesn't do that. Oh, and by the way, you take that collection of business cards back to your office with full intentions of putting it into your database. And 9 times out of 10, people don't do that or reach out to the people that they met. So what's the difference here with the Whoggga networking?
So we brand ourselves as an alternative to networking. Majority of our Whoggies, our members, are not traditional networkers that enjoy handing out business cards or transactional environments where it's very driven around leads and referrals and transactions. We actually have something in Whoggga called a 1432, which in our agreement when our members sign up, the 14th letter of the alphabet is the letter N, the third letter is the letter C, and the second letter is the letter B. So a 1432, an NCB, stands for no commission breath. And what that means is at no point do we ever encourage our members to do elevator pitches or hand out business cards or follow traditional networking transactional habits that you might find.
I love that. I really love that. And so what's the philosophy behind the not doing business? Because people are like, no, I got to go to I have to go to network to get business. So what's the philosophy behind it? You kind of reversed, you reversed engineered networking.
So our philosophy is we're an alternative to networking. We're a social network for business owners. We are an exclusive invitation-only organization. We've been very blessed. We started the building out Whoggga back in January of 2020 when it was just an idea and a concept, and we were doing some brainstorming and think tanking. And then we soft launched in June of 2021, and then we did our hard launch on September 2021. So we've been in business now going on 8 months, and we've had a significant amount of people reach out, request to join our organization, but our vetting process is a lot different than most other organizations might find. Out of the, let's just say, 1,000 people that have requested to join Whoggga, we've only invited in, I believe the number is 64. And out of the 64 people that we've invited in, 40, I believe we're up to 46 now, have accepted their invitation of credibility, as we call it. And to answer your question directly, I've always been about building relationships. When you truly get to know who somebody is as a human being, their passions, their interests, their hobbies, their loves, their family, what they do for fun. When you get to know somebody and you can really build an authentic connection with them, it makes doing business a lot more enjoyable because you naturally want to help this person that you've gotten to know. One of my least favorite questions in networking when I used to attend, pre-COVID, even now, unfortunately, this still takes place, is when you first meet somebody, one of my least favorite questions is to ask them what they do. Because I think that what we do, that might put a roof over our heads, that might allow our families, to have dinner and to go on vacations and to have cars and everything else. But when you ask somebody what you do, they kind of feel like they're on stage where they have to perform this elevator pitch that so many people are used to giving and so many people don't like doing and don't feel comfortable even saying it. So in Whoggga, ironically, the way that we spell Whoggga, which is truly a Scandinavian lifestyle culture that's been around for hundreds of years, but the way that we spell it, the WHOGGGA, the WHO stands for who are you as a human being? What makes you you? And then the 3 G's stand for our membership subscription, which is grind, grow, and gratify, because all of our members are in a different stage of their business, their life, and their career. So we look at ourselves more as a personal, social, and professional exclusive network for business owners.
I love the who we are, because who we are is more important than what we do, because that signifies how you're going to work. I speak to a lot of my clients and we talk about values. That's the basis of who we are. And then you want to find other people with similar values, right? And you can't find that out unless you know who they are, right?
Yes, and that's one of the reasons our vetting process. And we have something called an interview of credibility. So let's say if somebody requests to join Whoggga, they would go to our website, and on the top right it says join, and that's for them to request to join. And once we get their request to join in, first off, I obviously say this, with no disrespect, we only invite in either business owners or aspiring business owners. We don't invite in sales reps. We don't invite people that are transactional or just looking for leads or referrals or hand out business cards. The culture of Whoggga, the actual Scandinavian culture that they practice in countries like Denmark, Finland, Norway, the culture of Whoggga stands for being comfortable, being cozy, being able to be yourself and being comfortable being yourself. So, the way that we've built and developed the organization is, we really want people that are business owners to build relationships, because you never know how you can help somebody. It doesn't just have to be, through business, through leads or referrals. What if somebody is going through a divorce? What if somebody's kids are, what if they're getting a little older and they're being a little bit more defiant? What if you personally are going through an illness or something health-wise? And, to connect with another business owner that's also a human being and a person that can maybe walk you through it or, provide just some comfort. In Whoggga, we have something called hear and steer. Sometimes, people just want to be heard, and other times people are looking for some guidance. But when somebody requests to join Whoggga, we have something called an interview of credibility, where we interview them and get to know them and build a relationship with them. It's not so much focused on business, it's more so focused on personal. And then if we find that somebody's interview of credibility goes well, let's say if they are a coach like yourself, Lorianne, and
you mean fantastic coach, right?
Well, marvelous. Like, Lorianne, you obviously, I make this joke all the time with you, but I'm pretty sure you have an invisible superhero cape for what you do, because you are just that amazing at what you do.
Thank you, Adam.
But you're welcome. Let's say if a coach did want to join Whoggga.
I do wear it at home, just saying.
You do? I'm going to need a selfie or something with the cape on.
We'll see.
Yeah. So let's say if somebody wanted to join Whoggga that was a coach, and let's say if you were already a member of Whoggga.
Yep.
We have something, after the interview of credibility, we actually have something else called progressive exclusivity, where in order for us to progress and grow, we do it in an exclusive way. And if I were to interview a coach and talk to them about their business, I might not really understand much about their coaching practice because I'm not a coach. It's not what I do. but we would ask you as a member of Whoggga to get to know this potential Whoggee that's looking to join, and to see if they are credible as a coach, because at the end of the day, we all have abundance mindsets. We don't look at it as scarcity. We don't look at it as competition. We look at it as, is this person a compliment to our community? And we don't know until someone like yourself would meet them and get to know them, because professionally, we don't want to let somebody in just to let them in. There needs to be some level of credibility there.
And the truth be told is I work with a lot of different coaches. They have different coaching styles, and sometimes my style is not a fit for people who come to me. I have a very specific group of people that I serve, and if you're not within that group, I will refer out to my other coaches that I work with. So it's really exciting to be able to have conversations with other coaches, or have some conversations with other people in the same industry. And like you, I don't believe in the competition, because there's enough people. There's an abundance out there of people looking for whatever service it is that you provide, or whatever your business provides, to serve them. Even if I wanted to serve everyone, I can't. It's not even possible. So there's designated people for everybody in the world. I really believe that it's predestined anyway.
Thank you. And just something else that I want to focus on is you being a super awesome, marvelous, fantastic coach, and you coming to some of our Whoggga huddles, and facilitating, the crystal bowls, or facilitating the meditation, or the essential oils, or the mindfulness. We have other coaches in Whoggga that have literally asked for your information, and they want to collaborate with you, because you are awesome at what you do, and you do coaching differently than them. So, I know that, we've had Wayne, who has spoken so highly of you, that wants to collaborate with you. Stephanie, who you met, was all about your energy and everything else. So when you have that abundance mindset, and you realize what your strengths might be, and how somebody else can complement your weaknesses, it's a really nice collaboration.
Oh, and thank you for saying that. I am a coach's coach, which means I am trained to train coaches. And so it does help. And you're right. We have different tools, and everybody's personality is significantly different. So you have to have that right fit, especially for whomever you're coaching, because there's a trust factor there. So if we can learn from each other and become better coaches as a result of our collaboration, isn't that a wonderful place to be? So I'm absolutely open to it. I know Wayne is, I know Stephanie is, and the people that you seem to, I would say, gravitate to you, but you seem to approve through as members. You're very mindful of that process of who you're bringing in, the type of person, because they're all these wonderful humans that you want to get to know more about. And when you do, they have multiple layers. They're definitely that usual onion that as you pull back every layer of that person, you just get to like them more. It just becomes more and more likable, and you want to spend more time with them. And that's the one thing I love about the culture that you're building, is you do spend time together. And in a little bit, I want to talk about the huddles, what you call the huddles. But you actually have 3 different levels of Whooggies. One is the grind, one is grow, and one is gratified. So let's talk about the 3 levels right now. Let's start touching upon the 3 different levels. What differentiates the grind, the grow, and the gratify?
So we call the grind subscription the G1 subscription, and grind means that you're hustling. You're in the starting it up phase. Maybe your business is between, let's say, 1 and 3 years old, and you're hustling, you're grinding, you're trying to earn it. It's a stage of your business where, you might want to give back and gratify, but, you're still just trying to hold on and hang on to your, for yourself in the grinding phase. So G1 is somebody like myself. My other company that I have, is 2.5 years old, and I'm still grinding, and I'm still, earning my keep to be a business owner and entrepreneur doing what I do. So that's the grind subscription that we have. The growth subscription.
Well, that's your business development, right? Company?
That is my business development firm, Connections for Hire.
Connections for Hire.
I'm in the grind of 2 businesses. Whoggga, which just launched, officially 8 months ago, even though we've been working on it for about 2 years. And then Connections for Hire, my consulting business. I'm still in the grind business as well, which hopefully I'll be entering the growing phase of my career in that soon. But when you're doing 2 different grinds, they delay each other.
You and I should talk about doing 2 at the same time, but that's another conversation for another day.
Yes, it sounds good. And then an example of the growth subscription is someone like my partner, Greg Pajak. Greg and I were co-founders in Whoggga together, and Greg, he owns a wealth management firm, and he's been successful for about 20 years building up that business and grinding and now growing it. And Greg is in the growing stage of his career. He's focusing on mastering his craft, mastering what he does as a wealth manager. You could technically say that he's in the grind of Whoggga, but Greg is much more involved, from a growth standpoint, where he's focusing on growing his business. Meeting with business owners, helping them, navigate, what he does. And then an example of a Gratify subscription, a G3 as we call it, is a member of Whoggga that has reached a certain stage of their career professionally, personally, through experience and through life where, they're in a little bit more of a make a difference phase. They love doing business. They're still doing business. They're still hungry to do business, but they're not grinding maybe as much to, start it up and earn it. They're not growing as much. They've kind of already mastered their craft. They're more so now kind of making a difference, and they want to be either a mentor or they want to help the Whoggga community or other people that are in the G1 or G2 phase of their career. And, we're very blessed that, Whoggga is a community of mentors. Whether you're a startup business at 24 years old or if you're a G3 at 70 years old, everyone helps each other. Everyone genuinely gets to know each other and build relationships and tries to, just make a difference together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you have those three different levels. So what made you decide to make this network? There's plenty of networking out there.
Lorianne, I was just so tired of being pitched to and people handing me their business cards without introducing themselves first, or people just targeting my customers because they heard I was a consultant. I just never felt comfortable in networking. I never ever wanted to genuinely, authentically be at a networking event at 7 a.m. at a diner, or be around people that my energy is very different. Some people, I'm not the right person. I'm not the right personality for everybody, but when you're in an organization that there's no vetting process and there's no necessarily like-mindedness that's being invited in, if people are just joining a networking group because they have a credit card and there's a seat open for a marketer or an attorney, I never liked that philosophy on networking. And my partner Greg and I, we always wanted to bring a pattern interrupt into the world of networking. And what we did was we actually held these focus groups over the course of 8 days. Each focus group was like a think tank, and we had between 15 and 25 different business owners in each focus group. So after the 8 days, we had a little over, I want to say, 200 business owners that came to these focus groups that we asked them, tell us the good, the bad, the ugly, the magnificent. Let us know what you wish was different in networking, what was better in networking, what would be, more enjoyable for you, what value you'd get out of it. And what we found was a lot of people were just really in the status quo of networking, and they didn't know anything else was out there because nothing else was really out there. It was just kind of the same old, just, spinning the flavor a little differently. And Whoggga, I truly believe, is a disruption to the way that, for the people that have not been enjoying networking for X amount of years or time, I do believe that Whoggga is a great alternative for business owners that need to network, that want to network, but they're not just focused on transactions and leads and referrals. They're more so focused on growing as a person, as a husband, as a wife, as a sister, as a son, as a human being in our community. They really just want to succeed and help others around them. So,
and that's beautiful the way you said that. But what I get from that as an outsider looking in is this is a network community, because you're building a community around yourself where you can have resources available to you. And it looks differently than it does in a networking thing. In a networking organization, sometimes we go in there and we have a different mindset. In this, because we're not talking business from the get-go, we're learning who people are. I used to say in business development, I didn't know my clients unless I knew the color of their carpet in their living room. And I would work very hard to do that. So that meant I knew their anniversary, their birthdays, the kids' names, where they lived, what they liked, what they didn't like. That's, what basic business development is. And that takes years to do, but you start with handing out the business card. You're doing it the opposite way. You're finding out about what color their carpet is in their living room before you even know what exactly they do. And I think it colors it differently. Don't you think that?
I agree. And it's funny, if I was a carpet cleaner or if I was a carpet installer, I would absolutely want to know what color their living room was.
On that note, you're listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. We're going to continue our conversation with Adam and talk more about Whogggas, talk more about the huddles. I just want you to take a little break, and when you come back, sit down with a cup of coffee, something to drink, because you want to hear about this part. And we will be right back. Well, welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Lorianne Casdia, and we are speaking with the wonderful Adam Holtzer of Whoggga, the founder of Whoggga, which is a networking organization. And it's just so exciting. I love talking about this stuff. You know that. But in the meantime, if you guys have any questions or if you want to speak to us here at Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne, please email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. We love, 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 love. Did I mention love? Hearing from you guys. And I love answering. I actually answer most of them personally. And the team here at Healthy Lifestyle, we're very blessed to have such a good team. Hey, Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Lori. How about yourself?
I'm doing really great. It's always good to see you. You are a superstar. What's going on with the Yapping Yankees? They're going to be coming up soon, April 1st, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard a lot of changes going on. What's going on with that?
Well, it's going to be joining some big network eventually. I keep the zip on that because, it's in the works.
I hear you. I'm so excited. I heard about a couple of new acquisitions that are going down.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
keeping it on the down low.
Okay, we're going to keep it on the down low. Gosh, you won't give me anything, Michael.
But the show itself is going well.
Show as well, and they can tune into Yapping Yankees. How, when, where?
There's a new episode every Sunday night. They can tune in on YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple, or Spotify. Those are the 4 main platforms that it's available on. Every Sunday night there's a new episode, and even during baseball lockout days, the discussion remains alive.
That's right, as long as you can spell yapping.
Correct.
Thanks for that update. In the meantime, let's go back and welcome Adam back to the show. Adam, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Lorianne.
He's amazing, our producer here, Michael. He does the Yapping Yankees podcast, and it's just, you should see, he's passionate. I love it when he goes on a rampage. It just makes me laugh. So try to join in on Sunday. Your guys will love it. Your members will love it as well. So we have the grind, we have grow, we have gratify, we have G1, G2, G3. We have this amazing concept, which is, as I look at it, reverse engineering on networking, which kind of makes more sense to me than the way we do it now. So when you do these things, what do you do? How do you get together? You do these things called huddles, right?
Yes. So we have different variations of the word huddle. We actually have a lot of fun different names and nomenclatures in Whoggga, but every month we have various huddles that take place, and we actually have an app, the Whoggga app that all of our members are on. The app is only for our members, but on our app we have something called under calendar. It has huddles, and we have all these different huddles that take place. Actually, right now I'm touching the back of my head. We did a very cool huddle last night. One of our members, one of our Whogggies, he hosted something called Beards and Beers, and to give back to the local community and to bring awareness to his barbershop that he's been loyal to for a long time. He put together his own huddle, and he invited in all the Whogggies to come get a hot towel shave and a fresh haircut, and then some people drank some beers during the huddle at the barbershop, and then we went out to dinner afterwards. Tonight we have a huddle going on where it's called a powwow huddle, where we invite all of our members of Whoggga to come enjoy and have a good time together. But then all throughout the month, we have huddles called Nook Huddles, where the same 12 to 15 Whogggies get together every month, once a month for 2 hours. We have a no-guest policy. And all of our Whogggies that are in the different nooks, they meet with their nooks next week, which is once a month. And then at the end of the month, we do some type of a cool huddle experience. It could be called a G-Power huddle or a powwow huddle. And in the month of March, now that we're officially in March, we're doing fencing, the sport of fencing at the end of this month.
I love that. That's so cool. Have you ever fenced before?
I've never fenced before. And
so much fun.
Members have never fenced before, and it's probably not on anyone's bucket list. However, it is a fun fact to be able to say that you went fencing.
So the best thing to do is watch one of those swashbuckling type of movies before you go, because then you get this energy to say, okay, I want to do it. So I recommend you watch a section of The Princess Bride where they do that. A whole big section is of them fencing. And then I want you to go to the fencing and tell me that you don't have a good time doing it. It's so much fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. You know what it is? When we first launched Whoggga, we were actually branding out. We always branded ourselves as an alternative to networking.
Yes.
But we first branded ourselves as a business lifestyle community. And what we meant by that is enhancing the lifestyle activities that we enjoy, whether it's hiking, kayaking, bonfires, cigar nights, playing poker, gardening, boating, fishing, skiing, snowboarding, whatever lifestyle activity that you enjoy doing. We want to inspire others to learn that about you, because that's your special thing. So a huddle that we did back in January, we did an executive chef cooking experience and wine pairing, because we have a lot of members of Whoggga that love to cook, and they were able to share their passion for cooking with other members. Back in November, we have a lot of athletes in Whoggga, and we actually rented out a stretch lab. That was the first time I met you, Lori.
Oh yeah, Chris Tucker's stretch lab in Woodbury.
In Woodbury, yeah. And Chris actually joined and became a member of Whoggga because he really loved, that we were just surrounding ourselves with other business owners that can open up and be, real. One of the reasons, by the way, that we have a no guest policy in Whoggga is we do open up about things that are going on in our lives personally, as well as things that are going on in our businesses personally. That if you have a guest there, sometimes you can't authentically be yourself, or you feel uncomfortable opening up because you don't know who you're sharing with. So we really have developed a community of, once again, the definition of Whoggga is comfort, coziness. That's not our definition. That's the definition of the Scandinavian culture that's been around for hundreds of years. In case anybody is looking to spell the way the word Whoggga is really spelt, it's Hyggge. So all these different huddles that we do are to take the passions and inspiration that our members have and to put together these really just awesome, fun gatherings that bring our like-minded community together. We just booked our April huddle. Our April huddle is going to be, we're all going to a concert together. Our May huddle we're doing karaoke, and we're doing like this really awesome taco theme with like pairing beverages for Cinco de Mayo. So pairing like a margarita, a sangria, and a cerveza. So we just do all these different experiences that are just energetic and exciting, and we just want to provide value to our members to have a good time and to be able to surround themselves with other good people that they can do business with and grow and have a relationship with.
Yeah, and I love that. And actually, you've minimized some of the events, because I was fortunate enough to be invited to a couple of the huddles, and I was at one of the huddles, and it was at the Stretch Lab. But you also had massages going on, you had meditation going on, you had amazing food presented by Linda Marie, events by Linda Marie. She's just amazing to put events together. Yeah. Always. You had they were doing hand massages and manicures. And oh my goodness. And the last one you had, the huddle that I had gone to was in Huntington, and we went to the Floatopia in Huntington. And you had floating, there was the salt cave, there was some crystal bowls going on in the salt cave, there was massages going on in the back, there was a huddle game, which we're going to talk about in a second. And there was beautiful food, and oh my gosh, the baked good that Jillian made.
The home of the chocolate berries.
Oh my gosh, she is amazing. She actually made homemade little macarons, and they were so yummy. And her little baby cupcakes, the champagne cupcakes, were to die for. So, I mean, there's always a little bit of a nashi going on. There's a lot of interconnection. I got to know a lot of the members through that, and it just, every time you go, you learn more about each other, because you're in it. You're all experiencing this together. In a lot of cases, for the first time, most people hadn't done it before, and they're stepping outside of their comfort zone, which you're in the process of. Even though you might be in the grind group, you're in the process of growth because you're stepping out of that comfort zone, and every time you do, you grow a little bit, and you're doing it together. So it causes this camaraderie and this culture and this community that is absolutely beautiful. And like I said, you have a beautiful vetting process because every single person in there, such a delight, such a delight.
Thank you, Lorianne. And it's funny because since we don't allow guests in, but we've actually hired you as, I call you a Whoggga guest, like a vendor. Being that you've actually been able to see from the inside, looking out what it is. It's hard for people to understand it from the outside looking in, but from the inside looking out, it's something special that you feel. It's funny whenever people ask, for information, I'm always like, listen, please read our Google reviews. And the reason I tell them that is because our Google reviews are all by our members that are business owners that have experienced it themselves. And it's like, who better to, it's not like we don't ask necessarily for the reviews. Leave a review if you're having a good experience. So I always tell people, like, the experience is different for everybody. Some people join for business, some people join for personal, some people join for social, some people join for a combination. But at the end of the day, everyone genuinely grinds, grows, and gratifies together, which is a beautiful thing.
Oh my gosh. And, I just had a thought, especially coming out of what we've been coming out of the last 2 years. It's so needed to have those type of experiences together. And it's so needed to have that camaraderie. There are some people who are solo businesspreneurs and sometimes it's tough because you don't have other people around rooting you on. And this is a whole community of people rooting you on and helping you solve problems, jumping hurdles that, you don't need to solve and jump yourself. So it's just, I love the concept, Adam, and I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. I truly, truly love the concept, and I truly love the passion you have. Clearly, everybody can hear that behind everything that you're doing, and you really think things out to the T so that membership gets the best result possible, down to the fact that you have your own app, that you went through the expense, the cost, the time, the thought process to put together this app to keep the community connected. So it's absolutely beautiful. So now, one thing that I ask every guest who comes on my show, and because you and I have spoken about this before, is what's your why? Why do you do what you do, Adam? Where's that passion coming from?
So I've always loved bringing people together, and I've always loved connecting people, and I've always loved finding common interests and common personality traits that make someone unique. But when you learn about who somebody is, you find out that someone else has this uniqueness to them as well. And my why is my superpower, which is, I just love bringing good, like-minded people together and helping them and making a difference for them, whether it's personally, professionally, whatever the case is. I just love helping people. That's my why.
That's beautiful. Why? Yeah, I noticed that you connect people together. I call it a drop and run because I do that too. Is you put the right people together, you see that they're doing fine, and then you just disappear. You just kind of step back and let them continue their conversation. So I love that because it allows people to really connect on such a heavy basis. What's in the near future?
So
give us an inside peek. Come on, share.
Right now, we're planning out our Whoggga Fest. Whoggga Fest is going to take place in July. Linda Marie Paul, our huddle coordinator, who you mentioned earlier, she's working with us right now with a bunch of other vendors. Whoggga Fest is a festival for all of Whoggga, and we invite the Whooggies and their families, their spouses, their kids, their parents, their uncles. We anyone that is part of your we. My partner Greg Pajak, he has this beautiful term that he calls, the we. Who's your we? And when you talk about your weekend, we went to do this or we did that. Greg loves to know who your we is. So every Whoggie's we is invited to the Whoggga Fest, and it's just going to be a wonderful occasion for our members to just enjoy and celebrate with their families. We have some really awesome huddles that are coming up the second half of the year. I mean, our business is very fun, and it's what you make of it and the experiences and everything else. So I love tonight. We have a huddle going on tonight. I'm jumping out of my skin to go. I can't wait to be there. And the whole reason why I'm so excited is because I get to bring awesome people together that I've gotten to know, that I know I've qualified and literally gotten to know them as best as I can to say, you know what, I would love for you to be in this room with us because you're just, you'll blend right in.
Yeah, everybody brings a level of value to it that is just so apparent, and it really matches up really, really well. You have an opportunity here to speak to everybody. What would you recommend? What would you say? Say anything that you want to encourage the people who are listening.
So for business owners that are out there, or for people that work with business owners, whatever the case is, or just for human beings, there's a philosophy that, in Whoggga, we have something called programming themes, where we have topics that we talk about that, help ourselves kind of discover, uncover, and be in awareness. And one of my favorite programming themes that we have is called the 5 I's. And the first I is to genuinely be interested in someone else. When you're interested in someone and you genuinely want to get to know them and build a relationship with them, and that's a two-way street. It has to work for both sides. But that's the first I, is to be interested. And then the other I's that, the other I's that I recommend are, they're called invite, inform, introduce, and inspire. So invite. When you can invite somebody to something that they're going to get value from, they appreciate it. They're not going to forget that. When you invite somebody to come to an event, or you invite somebody to come play pool or come to a bonfire, whatever it is, they appreciate the fact that you thought of them. It shows genuineness. To inform, to give information to someone that can help them, help their family, help someone else. I had someone reach out to me earlier that needed, they needed a connection to somebody particularly, and I was able to give them this information, and they appreciated it so much because I was able to help them. The next I, the fourth I, is introduce. When you can make a tailor-made connection and introduction that just makes so much sense, almost like you're doing the world a disservice if you don't make this connection. That's another I, introduction, to introduce people where it makes sense. Yes. And then the last I, which is one of my favorite I's, which I think you truly shine at this I, Lorianne, is to inspire. Oh. When you can inspire somebody else, either with your motivation, your passion, your hunger for knowledge, your learning, or doing and taking action, inspiration is such a beautiful thing. And, like a lot of people look at me as a leader, and I definitely am a leader, but what a lot of people don't know about me is I love being a follower, and I love following good leaders. And I've actually told you this before, Lori, because I think you're a phenomenal leader. And, I think that all the people that do surround themselves with you and follow you, they're doing it because you're such an amazing leader. And that's inspirational for someone like me, because even though I'm a leader, I look at someone like you and I'm like, wow, like she is inspirational. Even this radio show right now, like it's just inspiring.
Wow. You actually have me speechless, Michael. I don't think you've seen me speechless, but maybe one other time.
No, us Italians are not meant to be speechless.
That's true. That is so true. Thank you. The very kind words, but you are a leader without a doubt. And I always say that I lead from behind, because it's not that I'm not in the trenches, because I get right in the trenches with you. I'll get right in the foxhole with you. I'm never going to leave you hanging out there, but I also love to, let everybody else grow, because the collaborative mind is much stronger, right, than the singular mind. So I do love it. And that's why I love showing up at these. And I really feel honored and blessed that you invite me in to have the opportunity to potentially inspire people within your group. I really love it. It's such a beautiful community. I really do enjoy it. So thank you so much for giving me that gift, because it is a gift to me. The things that you put out there, and you walk the walk, you talk the talk, you walk the walk, because I watch you with your children. I watch you with your wife. I watch you with your membership. I watch you with your partner, Greg, who is another dynamic, wonderful, inspiring individual. So all of that you're just a good human yourself, Adam. And it's an honor for me to have you in my life and be part of what you're doing. I really do appreciate everything that you do, and that you openly invited me in, not even knowing who I was, basically getting a reference from somebody else. Actually, I think it was Linda Marie who introduced us together. So that was the best gift she could give both of us, because you are definitely an asset in my life. And again, love sending people to you. Love that you do what you do. They can find you at Whoggga.com. Yes?
Yep. Whoggga with 3 G's, WHOGGA.com. And if they spell it wrong with less G's, we own those domains too.
And that's good. That's a good idea. Yeah, you really want to reach out to Whoggga.com. You want to check it out. Come and talk to Adam. Adam will really give you the full tour. He will have those conversations and send you in the right direction. The other thing I really honor about you is when it's not a good fit, you're still very kind about it, but you explain why it's not so that the person doesn't feel like they failed, because there is no such thing as failure, just learning. And I love that about what your process is. So don't be afraid to come in, see what's going on, see if it's a good fit for you. The fit needs to happen in both direction. Any good relationship fits in both direction. Adam, thank you so much for being on the show today. You really honor me for being here.
Thank you, Lorianne, for having me. And Michael, thank you very much as well. I'm excited to watch. You said this on Thursday night?
Listen, Yapping Yankees on Sunday.
Yapping Yankees on Sunday. Cool.
Yeah. There's a new episode every Sunday night.
I'm going to share that on my social media because I'm a Mets fan. Doesn't mean I'm an anti-Yankee person, but I think my Yankee fan friends will definitely enjoy the Yapping Yankees.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'll just give this little tidbit too. I am a very non-biased, objective Yankee fan. So
that's true.
I know there's like a general thing about Yankee fans out there that say they're like, oh, they're very biased or annoying. I'm not one of those people.
I am. I drink the Kool-Aid. I'm a Yankee fan.
That's all good. What are you going to do?
And you know what? Like I tell people all the time, like, we can't all be winners.
This is true. Well, you know what? You've embraced your not winning. So that's okay. Our boys haven't been doing really well lately anyway. So anyway, another conversation for another day. Thank you all for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am so filled. My heart is so filled up, and you lift up my heart by sharing this time with me. I know you have a choice to be listening to anybody, and that you're with us is just so wonderful. So what do I normally say? You all should be able to say it by heart because I say it every week, is thank you for showing up today. We really appreciate you. Until next time, play a higher role, serve a higher purpose, show up for you, and show up big. Have a great day.